And we're joined by Matt McCall, the Conservative candidate in West Kelowna-Peachland. It's great to talk to you. So you arrived as a political candidate after a career in policing. That's an interesting path. How did being a police officer kind of inform your view of how things are going in this province, out of which you've become a politician?
Well, police tend to be out on the streets all the time. When someone's in trouble or they have issues, they call the police. So, I was dealing in West Kelowna, Lake Country, and Kelowna as where I worked. And during the last several years, things have been getting a little more difficult in our province and in our communities. And all the issues that people were having, I was getting a front row seat, seeing these things and interacting with people, hearing their stories and so on. And I could see things seem to be getting worse and worse. And, I did a lot of other things too, in terms of working out on the streets in the downtown enforcement unit, bike patrol, in the downtown of Kelowna as well, mental health and all that. I was seeing things really changing, and I thought, things seemed to be getting worse politically. And I thought that, I could do more good outside of the RCMP than I could within.
Right. So, chatting ahead of this interview, it doesn't sound like you come at it thinking, hey, I've got the magic bullet that's going to solve this. But at the same time, your observations are that there needs to be more of a coordinated effort to deal with people who are struggling and homeless.
Yeah, I had firsthand experience in the downtown core there for several years working on that unit. And, often I'd see all the entities that exist provincially and municipally to address homelessness and addiction, so on and so forth. Usually there's one entity out there dealing with, like the police will be there or healthcare or whatever. But I think that if you took all of them together and don't have I do this today, you do this tomorrow, but came together collectively, and you had harm reduction, you had policing, justice system, healthcare, mental health, all of those, housing and so on, and you work together to actually get people off the streets, not to just put a Band-Aid on something, right? If we treated the cause of the issue rather than the symptom that we see out on the streets and came together collectively, I think that would be a better approach in actually getting people off the streets.
Just yesterday, I was driving through Kelowna, and I saw one of the vehicles that you'll see with the multiple Canada flags on it that are still expressing their concerns about how the whole COVID situation, in their view, was unfair and how it restricted their rights. And they're expressing it every time they get in their vehicle. In the back window is a Conservative sign as well. So I would think that you and other Conservative candidates are really likely to lock down those votes. But I wonder, does that restrict your ability to grow beyond that? Because if you're going to win this election, you're going to have to get votes not just from people who would engage in these freedom protests. Could that hold you back at all, that support?
I don't think so. I think that when you look at our party and you look at the other parties in British Columbia, we're a party, like if you go on the website and you look at all the candidates that are being named and you look at their background, their resume, so to speak, their biography, I think we're very relatable to British Columbians because you see quite a range of experiences and people that have had careers. We're not career politicians that have just done that one thing our whole life. It's a whole range of people that can kind of have experiences across the board. I think that the people I've been talking to, I've been going door to door, I've been chatting with people, and people I would have never come across otherwise. And when I sit down and talk to them about what we stand for, what we represent, they absolutely love it. They want to see change in British Columbia, and I think we are a party that's going to bring change. That's our goal. We're going to bring back common sense and affect positive change, and people, I think, appreciate that. They want change, and we're the party that's going to bring that. I think that, it's great to have a conversation. I think that people will, when they actually sit down and chat with our candidates and see what we stand for and actually, have conversation, I think they're going to like what we're saying. We're more relatable. I think people will appreciate that. And I think we have a more of an understanding of what British Columbians are going through. And I think people appreciate that. We're more people-oriented and more service-oriented, I would say, right, than perhaps others, and they might appreciate that.
And a lot of people like yourself taking their first stab at politics, sort of a new fresh look at it.
Yes, absolutely. And actually, the feedback I've got from that particular issue is people like that, because when people want change and they see, you can't change the way things are with the same mentality that caused it. So people have been telling me that they really appreciate the fact that I'm not a politician, that I'm something new.
Right. Terrific. Great meeting you.
Yes, you too.
Best
Thank
luck,
you.
and thank you for watching Kelowna Now.